Australia, the land of endless beaches, tropical rainforests, breathtaking views, and a place of opportunity, freedom, and life. A country that is filled with unique cultures, a sense of harmony and order, a place to start again. But behind the image of paradise lies a truth most people aren't aware of nor taken seriously. Welcome to our deep dive into the truth about living in Australia, a country that offers opportunity, but not without its cost. I came to Australia to chase the dream that many do, to become something, to be someone. Look, living in Australia has its perks. There's stability, safety, access to quality healthcare, and a high standard of education. But living in a developed country like Australia comes with nuances that few people talk about. Compared to third world nations, the contrast is staggering. Australia, like other developed countries, offers a way out of poverty, an opportunity at gathering wealth, a kickstart to a kick-ass life. It offers a place to grow, a place to explore, and an idea of happiness, smothered in superficial happiness, a polished exterior of order, wealth, and comfort, where you're not dodging blackouts, water shortages, or corruption at every corner. But beneath that glossy surface, the price of success can be your mental peace, core values, and living as a free human being. The pressure to keep up financially is relentless. The illusion of the dream can easily become a rat race, especially for migrants. Yes, you can build a life here, you can succeed, but you'll have to work hard, very hard. At one point I was doing 60-hour weeks just to save a little. When you're young, full of energy, it doesn't seem too hard if you have a healthy work-life balance, which they promote here. However, going to dinner with your friends, or even going for a night out too, could be very costly. You will see yourself start from the very bottom no matter how much value you can bring. In Australia, you're just a number, a statistic, and if you do commit to living here, you will end up working very hard until retirement unless you're lucky or have a head start. Frankly, I love it here. It is a beautiful country. But this video is to let people know what we face as a working resident who has come to this place of beauty. Let's talk numbers, because this is where things get real. Taxes. Australians pay some of the highest taxes in the world. Personal income tax ranges from 19% up to 45% depending on your bracket. On top of that, there's the 10% GST on most goods and services. If you're self-employed or a small business owner, expect to pay quarterly tax installments, plus 9.5% superannuation contributions for your employees, and business activity statements pass every month or quarter. Superannuation is like a savings account that you can't touch until you're 60. It is your pension. Let's say you make some good money and you decide to treat yourself. You also face luxury car tax, capital gains tax, stamp duty, and land tax, which can eat into your earnings in ways people outside the country can barely comprehend. So you might ask yourself, where does that tax go? Australia's healthcare system, Medicare, which is excellent but not exactly free as many believe. Long public waiting lists and limited coverage for dental and allied health services mean you often still pay out of pocket or need private health insurance. Public infrastructure, including roads, emergency services, education, and social welfare programs. While these services are strong, many argue they are overburdened and underfunded, especially in rural areas. Centrelink and job seeker programs assist those in hardship, but they come with strict eligibility rules and stigmas that discourage many from seeking help. The average full-time worker earns about $95,000 annually before tax, but that number is heavily skewed by high-income earners. Many workers in retail, hospitality, and trades earn far less and face job insecurity. Casual contracts with no paid leave are widespread, forcing people to choose between health and a paycheck. Overtime is often unpaid in white-collar roles, with burnout quietly normalized in professional settings. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Australia promotes multiculturalism in speeches and media, but the path for outsiders is steep and unforgiving. Visa processes are complex and costly. A skilled independent visa, subclass 189, requires a points-tested system where age, qualifications, work experience, and English proficiency all weigh in. Processing times are long, 12 to 24 months is common, all while paying fees exceeding $4,000 just to apply. Student visa holders can work only 48 hours per fortnight during school terms, yet international tuition fees average over $30,000 annually, excluding living expenses. Many students and skilled workers fall into visa limbo, where they are living and contributing to society but have no certainty of staying. Temporary visa holders have limited rights. They can't access government support, and any legal or financial troubles can threaten their stay. Discrimination is subtle but real. Foreign qualifications are often overlooked, English accents judged, and job interviews missed because of names that aren't Anglo-Saxon. Rent. Average weekly rent in inner city areas like Sydney or Melbourne can exceed $650 for a 2 to 3 bedroom home or apartment. In Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth, it's slightly cheaper but rising rapidly, forcing international students to room share and have housemates where things are slightly easier. However, there is limited space, privacy, and peace. Utilities like electricity and gas bills average $150 to $250 per month depending on usage and location, and water bills come as well. A basic weekly shop for a small family can range between $180 to $300. That includes basic fruits, vegetables, dairy, and meats. Nothing lavish. Around $80 per month for internet with decent speeds. Phone bills are another $50 monthly, but they also include plans where you can get the newest phones that would start around the $100 mark. When it comes to transport, public transport is decent in cities but can be expensive. A monthly train pass in Sydney can cost around $160. If you own a car, you will also feel the burden. Owning a car adds registration, insurance, and rising petrol prices, averaging $1.80 per liter. Australia's interest rates have hovered above 6%, making home loans a brutal commitment. With the median house price in Sydney over $1.2 million. Melbourne, $900,000 plus. Brisbane, $750,000 plus. Even regional towns have been hit by price hikes, pushing locals out of their own communities. The government offers a first homeowner grant. The first homeowner grant exists, but is limited and subject to strict conditions. Most first home buyers need around $100,000 in savings just to enter the market, but that doesn't guarantee that you will be able to purchase or create the home you deserve. Most young Australians are afraid to enter the market. However, there are young couples and friends that are optimistic and make a mutual agreement to help each other to pay the mortgage off together. My hats are off to them. Australia has one of the highest rates of antidepressant use in the Oceania. The pressure of living a fruitful life here leads to a lot of dark stories that are never heard of until it's too late. In 2024, the suicide rate was shy of 1,000. Social media portrayals of beach life and brunch culture hide an epidemic of loneliness and anxiety. Workplace mental health programs are increasing, but burnout is still often treated as personal failure rather than systemic overwork. There are days specialized in awareness and is promoted quite well through the workplace. However, when it comes to real issues with real people, major corporations overlook it until there is a case against them with Fair Work Australia. The wealth gap is growing. While millionaires increase in number, low-income earners struggle to cover basics. Keeping up is a cultural pressure. Latest iPhones, $6 coffees, international travel. If you're not doing it, you're falling behind. Makes the life of a young adult very lonely, dating very hard, and even being a part of something daunting. With all that said, let's be real. Living in Australia isn't a curse. It's a privilege in many ways. Our streets are clean, our water is drinkable, our minimum wage at $24.10 per hour is one of the highest in the world. Australians can be warm, welcoming, and full of character. Mateship is a real thing here. Yes, we face high costs, bureaucracy, and a rat race at times. but we also enjoy safety, order, and access to resources that many parts of the world still dream about. So no, this video isn't to bash the country, it's to show you the whole picture. If you're a local, let us know in the comments. What's your truth about living in Australia? If you're watching from overseas, tell us, would you still want to move here? Hit that like button if you got value from this, subscribe for more brutally honest takes. Thanks for watching Slippery Gypsy, we'll see you in the next one.